we could have sidebars on both of those sentences. We won't. But the enemy, the adversary, is present in this experience. He's been basically pursuing you across the landscape, having encounters as you go. And the language about making the path straight is different than the straight and narrow gate, but they correctly go together. Wilt thou not place a stumbling block in my way, but thou wouldst clear my way before me, and hedge not up my way, but the ways of mine enemy. There's a stone in the Holy of Holies. He is approaching it. That is the foundation stone, but it can also be a stone of stumbling, right? And he's asking that for him it will be his foundation. He can build upon it, that he not stumble. Lord, I have trusted in thee, and I will trust in thee forever. I will not put my trust in the arm of flesh. Hey, I know that cursed is he that putteth his trust in the arm of flesh. Cursed is he that putteth his trust in man, or maketh flesh his arm. So whose arm is he going to trust in? He's going to trust in the arm of the Lord, right? That is part of this embrace, is trusting in the arm of the Lord. Verse 35, I know that God will give liberally to him that asketh. Remember Matthew 7, you're approaching asking for a gift. Yea, my God will give me if I ask not amiss. Therefore I will lift up my voice unto thee. I will cry unto thee, my God, the rock. There's the rock again of my righteousness. Behold, my voice shall forever ascend up unto thee, my rock and my everlasting God. Jesus is the rock. That's Helaman 5:12. He is the stone in the Holy of Holies. This is explicitly language of ascent. Nephi is not just imploring God, he's imploring up. He's imploring up to be taken into the embrace of the Lord.
Right. And we see that in Helaman 5:12, right? The rock of our Redeemer. It seems to imply to me that the rock is a temple image. It's the rock of the Holy of Holies upon which we find Christ, in which we are brought or reconciled and brought back into His presence.
100%.
And to a point you made earlier about the sacred space and the three-part sacred space, anytime we read an account of the temple in the Hebrew Bible, or something that is meant to evoke temple imagery, like in Genesis with the tree of life, everything begins at the Holy of Holies in the presence of God and flows outward from that point. So the rock, the foundation stone, is where the Lord stands upon his creation and where heaven and earth meet. Everything
Yeah.
Flows out of that point.
Or it's where he sits enthroned. It is also
Right.
the it is the rock that is holding bottled up the waters of the abyss, so the earth is not flooded by chaos. It is all of those things.
Um, for just a moment, going back up to verse 33,
Yeah.
um, O Lord, wilt thou encircle me around in the robe of thy righteousness? I think there's a good point to be made here that this could be taken in the way that you just described a moment ago, of being not just given a robe to put on yourself, but literally being enveloped in the robe of the Lord. In a similar manner, I think we see, is it Ruth and Boaz?
Mm.
She comes into his room and asks him to cover her in his robe or in his garment, and he puts his garment over her, and they
Mm.
are enveloped in the same garment, the same robe. There's something, and maybe I have that story a little bit wrong. Maybe it's not quite correct, but that's the image I think is quite similar there.